Hello guys, welcome back. Now in this particular tutorial, we are going to talk about reusable components. So far you have seen how to write the meta description in your OpenAPI, then you have seen the path, if you have to add the request body, how to define the endpoints, the response body, all of these things. Now we are going to talk about the reusable components. Now if you look at the OpenAPI spec that you have built, this is how it looks like, and it's pretty long right now. And a lot of time you will see that this information is being repetitive, right? The same artist name, the type is string, the genre, this information is repeated here. Then if you go up again, if you go down, you're going to see the same information is being repetitive here. Artist name, the genre, the albums, the same properties. If you keep coming down again, you're going to see it's repeated over here as well. So it has been repeated a couple of times. Now what it has done is it has increased the size of your spec. If you look at it, it's becoming too long and it's hard to read. Now when you do, what you can do is you can define these reusable components. So there is a tag called as components. So if you see here, if you come to the bottom, what you can do is you can define a tag called components, and in that tag you can define whichever things is repetitive. So here under the components you have defined a schema, and one schema that you have defined is of the type artist. The name of the schema is artist, and then you're telling that it is of the type object, and then required is username, and then these are the properties. Now rather than copying this exact thing over and over, what you can do is you can refer the schema like this. First the layer is components, then you have under the components there is a little indentation, means the schema is part of the components, and then under the schema there is another indentation that tells you that okay, artist is under the schema. So if you have to refer to this artist, you will say components dot slash schema slash artist. That means you are referring to this particular object. Okay, so if you see here, now they have changed it a little bit. So if you see, if you go up, this is where they have added a reference. Rather than adding the complete artist name, genre and over, they have added a reference here. There is a reference tag, and they are saying the reference is available under the components slash schema slash artist. So automatically it will know that go over to the components part, come over here and look for this. You can define multiple schemas under this components. It can be n number of schemas, and the way to refer it in your document is this way. And again you have referred it over here. So this is the purpose of reusable components. Then what will do is it has reduced the length of your OpenAPI spec, because you are defined this schema once and you are referring it over and over. Otherwise what you were doing is you were copy pasting it everywhere again and again. From the next tutorial, we are going to manually create an external service using this OpenAPI, and behind the scene it is going to create operations that we can invoke through our flows. So I hope this tutorial was good enough and you can dig deeper into this OpenAPI through this URL that I've shared with you. By the end of this tutorial, I'm hoping you can read an OpenAPI spec and you can understand. So if I go ahead and give you an OpenAPI spec, you can understand what's going on in that spec. We'll talk more about this in the next tutorial, and I am going to see you then. Thank you so much.